Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. I'll start off with showing you the card pieces that you're going to need. This was in Soft Sky and today I'm going to use Mint Macaroon. So the card pieces that you'll need for the card base, this measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4 inches, scored and folded at 4 1/8. In metric, that's 21 centimetres by 14.5, scored at 10.5 and folded. And then a piece of Whisper White, which measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches, which is 10.25 by 14.25 centimetres. And then a top layer of Mint Macaroon, which measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/2 inches, which is 10 by 14 centimetres. Then you'll also need some scraps of Whisper White for the sentiment, the 2 butterflies and the flowers. The first thing we're going to do is actually do the die cutting for the aperture. So we'll get the big shot over first. And today I have treated myself to a nice new pair of cutting mats. The only trouble is with this, I really don't like the first time I use them. Nice, pristine, no damage, and I'm going to deliberately make a mark in it. Doesn't seem right somehow, but here we go. I'll be a lot happier once I've done it. Right, I'm going to use the Deco Label framelit dies, and I'm using number 3. I start counting from the inside, so the smaller the number, the smaller the die. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take my top layer and I'm going to position my die so that I have approximately the same amount of gap here, here and here. And I'm also going to try and make sure that that's in a straight line as well, which I think that looks okay. So let's get this first cut over and done with. Oops, there we go. That's it, blemished. So I'll be quite happy using them now. Right, let's move that out of that way. That's the only thing we need to do with it. And obviously that piece there can be saved for another project. So if I move those over there. Don't need my sizes, don't need that. Right, so I'm going to take my next layer of Whisper White. Let's bring this in so you can see. And I'm going to layer this on my top piece on top into the position where I will be adhering it. And there are 2 ways to stamp this on here. We're going to do VersaMark and then heat emboss it with silver. You can either leave it like that and stamp in between, which is my preferred method, or you can draw pencil marks around here, move that out of the way and then stamp on there. But for the video I'm definitely going to do it this way because I can't get my head right over. If I was just doing this by myself, then I would do the pencil marks. Right, okay, so let's start with the Embossing Buddy. Just make sure there's no static and greasy finger marks on there. The stamp that I'm going to use is this wreath stamp, which is from the Circle of Spring. It's this one here that I'm using. And I'm going to just put that back into position again without touching the white cardstock. Okay, so that's a good position. You may want to, if you do it this way, you may want to put temporary adhesive on underneath to hold that in place. So just stamp that up with a VersaMark. I'm going to bring this down to me as close as I can. Right, okay, that's fine. Now I'm just going to centre it in between the two curved bits. So that looks about right. There we go. I'll hold that there, pull it off. Yep, that looks okay. We'll soon find out when we put the embossing powder on it whether it's taken okay. So my silver embossing powder. That looks as if it's taken all okay. Just pop this back into the jar. And rest that over there. And I'll use my heat tool just to get that melted. Right, okay, a little bit of noise but not for too long. That's it, all done. Now this needs to be coloured. The colours I've used on this one are, for the pink I did Blushing Bride, but this one I'm going to use Pink Pirouette. But otherwise the colours are the same, and that's Soft Sky, Mint Macaroon and So Saffron, I think. Yes, So Saffron. Okay, so I'll just show you what I did. I'm not going to colour all of it because I do have one that I've prepared earlier. First of all, with the pink flowers, I wasn't too fussy about this. It's a lot easier because as you're doing it's embossed, it's quite easy to stay within the lines. Okay, so that's pink, pink, that one's pink. But then because the pink comes out quite light, and I found this with the Blushing Bride as well, what I did was I went back and did it again, and it brought it up a lot darker. So I was happy with that then. Okay, so I did that. I did all the leaves with the Mint Macaroon. I also did this bit down here on these flowers as well. I did it on that one, and I think there was a third one that I did it to. Yep, that one there. Okay, all of the things, what I did was I did all my flowers first, and then I just assumed everything that was left were leaves. There are one or two that are a little bit suspect. Is it a flower or is it a leaf? Like these here, I counted those as flowers, but that one I counted as a leaf. Some of the leaves have got lines through them, some of them don't, but you know, it's entirely up to you. I wouldn't be too fussy about it. With the yellow, I just used that to go on the inside of the 4. I think these are daisies, so I'll call them daisies. So that's in the middle of those 4. But apart from that, I think it's all quite straightforward. With the blue, I only did that once. I didn't go in and redo it. I felt that that came through quite dark enough. But it's all a matter of choice. I mean, you could do totally different colours from me. So I'm going to put that on one side, because this is one that I did earlier. It would take quite a long time if you had to sit there and watch me doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this on top of here, and then I'm going to put this on top of here. And I do all of mine using Tombow. You may want to use dimensionals to give it a bit of height. I'm not, because I think that I'm quite happy with the height that I'm going to get with the flowers and the butterflies. Okay, so just loosely go around the edge of the aperture there, and then all around the square edge. There we go. And then I'm going to pop this one. Oh, here's one I tried earlier, look. This mint macaroon is definitely one of my favourite colours. Yep, that looks straight. Okay, so now we're going to do the embellishments. And the one I'm going to do first will be the happy birthday. But I've changed my sentiment on this one. I've decided that I'm going to do... which one is it? That one, and that one says, they say it's your birthday. This is coming from Sweet Sayings. This is quite a nice set, this one. It's got quite a few sayings that I'll use. Sometimes I find the stamp sets, I won't use all of them, but I probably will do on that one. I don't mind if there's only one or two that I'm not likely to use. Right, I'm going to use mint macaroon for all of my stamping. I'm just going to put this one in the centre a little bit, because I'm going to use my oval punch to punch that out. Except I've done it upside down. Oh well, never mind, let's see if I can do that. I've done it down that end so that I could have something to hold with my punch. I'll leave that because I can do more stamping. So let's see how I've done this. Oh, it's not too bad. I've left myself some room. Right, let's get this in the centre and make sure it's straight. Yep, I think that's right. And sorry, this punch is the extra large oval. And now I want one each of the one large, one small butterfly, and this is coming from our Papillon Potpourri sets. I don't have one of the proper cases because this came in one of the old-fashioned clam type things, and I've transferred it into here. So it's Papillon Potpourri, and I'm not using the same butterflies either. These butterflies are all flowers, but I'm going back to my favourite ones. So that's one large. One small. And then I'm going to use this flower, which is from Petite Petals, and this time I'm going to use this one. On here I used the one with all these little spots on it. So we need 3 of these, with this punch there's no lining up, so I mean with the flower you don't have to make sure the petals go in any particular direction. And then we need 6 of these little flowers, and this one comes from pictogram punches. Okay, so I'm using this one. There are 2 little flowers in this one, but I tend to use that one. Maybe one of these days I'll change it over a bit. Now this one, it does matter where you punch, which way you position this for the punch, and once you've identified it, I suggest you put a little arrow on there. You probably can't see mine now because every time I wash it, it gets a bit lighter. There's too much lighting on in here. Oh, there you go, you can just about see that. Okay, I know that punch is up that way, and the way you identify it is all of these petals, these 3 petals have all got like a little dip in them. I'll show you once I've punched it out, but there is one that's just got like a little wavy line on it, and that's got to go up at the top. Okay, so let's see, there's one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Now that's all I need, I think, with the ink. So we bring the punches in. This is Bitty Butterfly. This is the one that'll do the small one. And with the butterflies, they will have ink left on the paper, whereas most of our punches will leave a little white edge all the way round. That doesn't apply to the butterflies. So let me get him back again. That's better. Okay, so you get a green edge all the way around, or whatever colour you've used. Okay. And then we'll use the Elegant Butterfly Punch, this one, for the big butterfly. So just line all that up. And then we do the flowers. For the little flowers, this is the little punch that needs to be lined up, and this comes with the Itty Bitty Accents punch pack. Okay, so if you get it lined up properly, it's no problem. Right, I'm going to see if you can see that. I think my lighting's all wrong today. No, you can't, can you? Okay, let's see if we can do it this way. If I put it so that the... Okay, it's going to be that one there, that's the wavy line. See if you can see it like this. Can you see that that's got a wavy line, and all the others have got like little dips in them? So that's the one that's always at the top right hand side. And then the other flowers are going to be cut out with, what's this one called? I think it may be called Petite Petals. but I will make sure that I've got all the names up on the screen. That looks a fraction short, but I don't think it will notice. Okay, so to put all these on, I don't think I used dimensionals, did I, for those? No, I didn't use dimensionals for any of this. Okay, so for the butterflies, I use my fingernail to bend the body in two places. I do this for the small one and the big one, so that I've got a nice flat bit there to put my glue on. And do that for him as well. Obviously you could use dimensionals on this bit if you wanted to. I'll use this one. Oh, that's silly, I haven't done my sentiment first, have I? Right, let's just get some dimensionals. This one I did use them on. So what I'll do is one either end. Whoops, come back. And I think I'll just cut off some of these little ones. There we go. Right, now I'd like to use my tweezers for this bit because it's easier to see how this is going to fit on, where all the gaps are, without having fingers in the way. Okay, so now my butterfly can go on. I move him a little way away so that if his, or at least when his wings get a bit flattened, you can still see what the greeting says. Now with these larger ones, what I do, I take a pencil and just curl them round very slightly. Oops. I curl them upwards. Some people do curl their flowers down, and I have to say they always look nice, but I just tend to do mine upwards. And then what I do is I take my paper piercer, and for these little ones I just bend those down. If you have a paper piercing mat, you may want to use that. If you do this too many times, too many flowers, it does get a bit sore on your hand. And I'm also going to do that to these as well. That gives a really nice amount of dimension there. Right, so first of all, let's put these all upside down, and then I can put some glue on them. And what I'm going to do first is the 3 large ones. You may also rather use glue dots for this as well. Right, I'm going to do 2 green ones here. And then 1 green one at the top. And then I'm going to put some glue in the middle and then pop 3 of these in. I don't try lining these up because the large flower's got 5 petals and these have got 4 petals. And then I'm going to do the other 3 with these. What did I do? One here. I will fluff my flowers up a bit once the glue has dried. There we go. I don't agonise too much about the layout of the flowers. The numbers are right, odd numbers. I know it could be argued that actually you've got even numbers because you've got 3 up, 3 down, but how far do you worry about it? Right, the last thing is to use either diamantes or pearls. As I've done the diamantes on this one, I'm going to, rhinestones, I'm going to put pearls on this one. I don't think I've got any small ones in there, have I? Oh, here we go. So I'll use, will I use a large one for the big flowers? Yes, I think so. In fact, that hasn't stuck very well, that flower. Give it a bit more pressure. And then the medium size for the smaller ones. In fact, I will come back later on and put a bit more glue on that one. My room is quite warm today and I wonder if it's drying up too quickly. Either that or I'm talking too much again. Right, there we go. Oh, and also some pearls down the body. I think I will need 4 on that. We do get the strips here, so it's quite easy to just cut that. Make sure you lift the sticky bit underneath. There we go. I'm really pleased with that card. I think it's really gentle. I hope you like it. Yeah, not sure if I have a favourite, but I like them both. Hope you like it. Hope you give it a try. Many thanks for watching my video today. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm always happy to give you a hand, help you out. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to buy any of the products that I featured here, if you click on the 24/7 link that's in the details below, that will take you straight to my Stampin' Up shop. Also, I put all the measurements and the products that I've used on the screen, but I do know that they, depending on what you're watching this on, they don't always appear, but they will always be in the box down below. I don't make you to go to my website to sort them out, it's all there for you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.